Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be doing a comparison review between the Xperia Z5 Premium and the Huawei Mate 8. We're also going to be doing a detailed camera test of both front and back camera. So let's just first talk about the price of both of these two phones here. At least where I live, both phones cost above $600. So it depends, if you get the Mate 8 3 GB of RAM variant, you can get it for $550, almost $100 difference between 4 GB RAM variant and the 60 and the 3 GB RAM variant. So also with the 4 GB RAM variant, you get 64 gigs of internal memory compared to the 32 GB that you get with the 3 GB RAM variant, versus the Xperia Z5 Premium, which costs above 60 which costs around 68,000 PKR, which is almost $680. So both phones are closely linked when it comes to the price. So let's first talk about, of course, both phones are phablet. If we talk about the size here, the Z5 Premium seems to be much smaller compared to the Mate 8, first of all, because it has a 5.5-inch display compared to the 6-inch of the Mate 8, and also the 6-inch display is beautiful. It's 1080p HD, while this one is having a 4K resolution, and it has a whopping 800 ppi. So display is really high-end on the Z5 Premium. 4K display, world's first phone to have a 4K display, so it's a really high resolution content that you can see here if you play videos and all that. And then also compared to the Mate 8, it is big. It is way bigger as compared to the Z5 Premium, but it has a less resolution, which is 1080p. So yeah, I think 1080p is also looking really great. But 4K is on the next level, and but it's still a bit smaller. So for those people who want a bigger screen size, might prefer Mate 8 more. But it can be a little bit too big for them because 6-inch display. So if we talk about the build quality of both of these two phones, you get the full awesome premium feel out of these two phones here without any problem. The Xperia Z5 Premium has gloss, and it's around like 8.5mm in terms of thickness, so definitely not the thinnest smartphone from Sony, but it is way beautiful Sony phone that they have ever made in the past, compared to the past Sony phones. So gold color looks really good. There's also a dual SIM variant of the Galaxy of this Xperia Z5 Premium, so but I have the single SIM variant. While the Mate 8 comes with this full metallic build quality, it is thinner as compared to the Z5 Premium, and you can easily hold it with one hand without any problem. Sure, it's a big phone, but it's not that much of heavier, so if we compare them in terms of full size like this, you can still see that how big the Mate 8 is compared to the Z5 Premium. Overall, it's just your personal preference. If you like glass more, then you will like the Z5 Premium's design. And also Z5 Premium is waterproof, which is a plus point for this phone. I mean, I've personally tested out its water resistant capabilities, so I know how well it performs underwater with full IP certification and all that. So if we dig in the software department, you can see here that of course both phones have Android. This is how their UI looks like. The Mate 8 has Android 6.0 Marshmallow right out of the box, which is something that we will receive on the Z5 Premium in the near future. So Android version, Marshmallow, and this one is coming with 5.1.1 Lollipop, which is definitely feels to be a little bit old, because I mean definitely phones are now coming with Marshmallow. The Galaxy S7 was announced, so I think Sony should have to upgrade the Z5 Premium pretty soon. So yeah, we have a more recent version of Android on the Mate 8, and if you compare the UI, this is Sony's typical UI. We get the app drawer on this phone, like this. It's nice. And with this phone, you get this just home screens. There is no app drawer. So this is Huawei's UI, and it's pretty simple actually. So, I personally like this one It's simpler, and it's more attractive. They have changed it a lot with the marshmallow. You also get features like dual window and all those kind of stuff, and also every time you lock the display, it changes the wallpaper. But of course, I have the fingerprint authentication here. But yeah, I mean, feature wise, and this is like more attractive, this UI, compared to the Sony's UI, which needs some improvement with the marshmallow update. Also under the hood, we get a Qualcomm Snapdragon 820 on the Z5 Premium, which is like the best chipset from the last year. Apart from heating issues, it is it's just a chipset that you will see in most of the high-end phones from 2015, while this one comes with the Kirin 950B, which currently at the moment the fastest processor in the world, having the best Geekbench 3 benchmark score. So if I go into the screenshot that I first captured when I ran the benchmark, so you can see here, multi-core score is way better than Snapdragon 810. So I mean, definitely we have a Galaxy S7 coming with Snapdragon 820, so things will be even, maybe with Express Z6 also in the future, but currently Mate 8 is the real king, and of course it performs better, but yeah, in the speed test comparison, you can check my channel out if you want to see the speed test comparison. So apart from the processor, we also have 4 gigs of RAM on the Mate 8 for multitasking, and every time you close the applications, it shows you the amount of RAM that is being freed. So I have around like 2.29 gigabyte of RAM free, so that's a lot of RAM for my multitasking stuff and all that. Well, of course, no RAM information there with the Z5 Premium. Of course, there are a lot of apps that can help you with that, so instead you get these applications, small applications that you can open up. So I mean, definitely the software has some nice tweaks and all that. So it's just comes down to your personal preference. Both phones have Android, you can customize them by using launchers and all those kind of stuff. So also, this is how their notification panel looks like. This one is very close to stock, and also we have fingerprint scanner on the Mate 8, which is on the back of the phone just below the camera. Now this fingerprint scanner can be used to unlock the phone, which is of course a basic feature, but you can also use it to capture photos. Like if you touch and hold it, it's going to capture photos. So yeah, it's like a full you can do some other stuff also with this fingerprint scanner, while the fingerprint scanner on the Z5 Premium is on the side, and which you can only use for unlocking the phone. There's also a dedicated camera key here on the Xperia Z5 Premium, which is pretty nice. You can press it and it's gonna, let's see here. If you press and hold it, it's gonna launch the camera, and you can use it to capture photos. Really good, especially when you are taking selfies, And while you're taking selfies with this one, it can be a little bit of dangerous thing, to take selfie like this. And press the on-screen capture button. It can slip out of your hand because of course it's metallic and slippery. So that's why Huawei gave us a official case to use with the Mate 8. So let's move towards the camera. Now the camera on both phones are pretty damn good, I must say. I mean, of course, I think the camera is the only department where I think that the Mate 8 kind of lacks a little bit compared to the competition, because there's no 4K video recording capabilities, but still it does very well when it comes to picture quality. So we get a 16 megapixel sensor on the Mate 8 versus a 23 megapixel sensor on the Z5 Premium, which has currently the fastest autofocus in the smartphone camera world. We also get a 8 megapixel sensor on the front of the Mate 8 versus 5 megapixel on the Xperia Z5 Premium. Now in terms of overall picture quality, I think both phones have a little bit difference when it comes to producing colors and all that outdoors. I think that the Mate 8 did have an edge when it comes to producing brighter results. It has this nice exposure compensation and all that. You also get optical image stabilization on the Mate 8, which is certainly something that is absent on the Xperia Z5 Premium, but instead, of course, we have 4K video recording capabilities. You can record 60 FPS 1080p videos on the Mate 8, but it's not actually 60 FPS all the time. So I think they have to do some improvement with the software a little bit in that department. So let's take a look at the video capabilities of both phones. So overall, in my opinion, I think both phones have great camera capabilities, and I think definitely Mate 8 lags a little bit when it comes to video capabilities. You know, it doesn't have 4K recording mode, but still, if you don't care about 4K, then that's a good thing for you if you want to buy this Mate 8 phone. And also, lastly, if we talk about the battery, which is the most important buying thing on the Mate 8, you know, the most attractive thing, because it has a 4000 milliamp hour battery, which is bigger than the 3430 milliamp hour battery of the Xperia Z5 Premium. So you get almost 2 days of usage on the Mate 8, 2 days of heavy usage, heavy to medium usage. So if you listen to music, use Facebook and use YouTube, and then, you know, leave the phone a little bit for the standby and all that, then you can get almost 2 days out of it without even plugging the charger. So I mean, the battery is insane on this phone, and I personally experienced that. I'm going to be mentioning that in my full review also, so I'm also working on that video. Compared to the Z5 Premium, which also survives up to 1 day plus easily, you know, from medium to high end usage, and then standby and all that. You know, it just depends on a lot of factors, how much gaming you do, but you can increase the battery life much better, much more on both phones by using their power saving mode. We have stamina mode on the Z5 Premium versus the they have their smart battery mode, something like that, which, you know, underclocks the CPU speed for apps like you know, non CPU extensive apps like WhatsApp and all that. So you can increase the battery life even up to 3 days on the Mate 8. So I mean, if the battery is most important to you, then Mate 8 definitely is the best one at the moment on the market to get. So yeah, that's all. That was a full comparison and a detailed camera test review between the Mate 8 and the Xperia Z5 Premium. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace out.